word in an easy to understand manner for newbies, those who want to be hackers, who want to be a cybersecurity expert, our future cybersecurity expert. These are the words. These are the people I actually train to actually make them who they want to be and who they want to be in the field of ethnic hacking. We break it into pieces, and we are also into consultancy services in anything you actually want pertaining to cybersecurity. You want to actually what check a background for someone, like you want to do a background check on someone. You also want to actually what do a lot of security what implementations on your on your server, on your system, on your network. You want to lock your file, encrypt your file, all those things. You want to footprint, check a website if it's actually valid, and all other things like that before you actually invest in that company or any other things, etc., 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 depending on what you actually want to do. There's something you don't know, that until you try people, you don't know what they can actually do. You don't know what else they can actually what extent they can do, the length they can go before actually something. You may even think some of the things that is what like it is hard might not be hard to this person. Like um you say do not judge the book by its covers. At least try this person first. Don't say okay, this person does not know it or cannot even do it. Try the person. The people can even do more than what other people might not do. So that's it. Everything is all about blessing, and it's all about the luck of God on your life. So now I'm talking about this simply because people look down on people a lot of times, and they think that oh no, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. No, you can't lie about technology. You cannot lie about technology. The technology has been from decades, from the legacies. You can't lie about it. It's what you can do. If you say you can do it, fine. Let the person show you. Give the person time to actually show you how and what that person can actually do. So then, if the person cannot lie in front of the computer, is what you actually give in to computer that is actually give out. What you garbage in, it garbage out back. So once you actually give if the person said he can do it, then let him do it. Like you will not lie in front of the computer because you actually have to give the computer command in order to get that thing done. So give the benefit of doubt. Try people. Give them the benefit of doubt. Sorry, and see what they can actually do. Like if they are even showing the signs that I can actually do, give them time. Like give them time. Don't just make decisions on people. I mean, it's actually crazy out there how people think you just need to do magic. No, it takes time to actually do good things. It actually takes time. So in this one is what is this encryption. I was talking about this. I've been saying a lot of this about this thing. People actually do not put this into the word into consideration. When I'm talking about this question is about well, locking your files, locking your old hard disks, to making it difficult for people to access. Which means you're the only one that have access to. Which means if it's actually locked, no one can actually get into your computer and start pressing anything they want to actually press. To actually what they actually the key to actually what open actually access the old. That you will know that the last person you actually give was the one that actually do that bullshit. So you actually that's if you actually like it. Subscribe to help yourself in viewing side of practical, but I actually want to finish the slide as I'm going. By the hackers. So network scanning can be in two ways, can be internal and can be external. They are using a Wireshark to actually do that. So it's also part of scanning. When you scan network is actually using, and you can actually use the word a Wireshark to actually the traffic, the type of network, that protocol that the all this is actually what actually put in place in what in this word in the real sense. Another thing that what scanning actually does is to use to scan the ports. You can even use the scanning to scan your local area network, the cable. This is actually with an hacker actually used to go get into you. They can also use filter it to your cable. It can be the internal, and I also say that it was actually what external too. External, what actually what the hacker actually aim first when he's trying to hack is to gather information about your system. First, if check the vulnerability. Thanks to Shodan has a way of assessing the whole world wide war system, checking vulnerability in the system. Shodan.io we actually help you to analyze a vulnerability system that you can actually get into. No, I'm just saying this for educational purpose. Shodan shows a vulnerability system, the whole satellite, like the whole world satellite. Shodan helps you to determine a webcam activities. It can even actually check which satellite is actually logging and not logging at that particular point in time, and you can actually get the video cap of what is actually happening live at the point in time. I'll actually show you that and how that actually works. So in recent, the first thing they actually do is what if that's an external hacker, someone that is not actually authorized. The first thing they actually aim is to the vulnerability. And how do they get your vulnerability is by trying to identify your IP address. Once they're able to get your IP address, external hacking having to do with someone actually getting into a public Wi-Fi. Well, the first thing the person actually do is to get your the IP, your public IP that you're using at that point in time. Once he's able to get that, he will use MIT to actually send a poisoning into that IP address. Once he's able to scan the network and he attacks you. Once he attacks, he start listening and start using a metadata to actually access the sections of your phone or your gadget at that point in time. Now this is actually analysis. The most aspect is that you actually keep yourself in check. Try to know what you're actually doing. Don't get into a Wi-Fi anyhow, because you can also actually get into a rogue wireless. Now this thing is actually very, very expensive, but it's very, very fast, like a pro you hack. More of the rogue Wi-Fi wireless network costs nothing less than 640,000 naira and above, like that. So it depends on what your money can carry. So you are seeing the network scanning. Network scanning also help you to scan the port. When an hacker is hacking, what type of hacking is he trying to do? Is it social engineering? Now what actually do is actually scan the port number. Is it a file transfer protocol? No, depending on what you actually want to get into, you use the protocol to actually assess you, to actually make you get vulnerable, or to actually attack you in the process or along the line. So network scan is actually very important to actually keep track of your activities and what you're actually doing at that point in time, to see which which history you have to clear, the cache that you have to clear off, all these things is in the hand of who you scanning your scanning your network. So in Rethink, yeah, I was talking about mmap earlier on. Yeah, I was not. Thank you, Lord. Now, mmap is a free and open source security scanner, originally written by Gordon Leon, used to discover hosts and services on the world on a computer network, thus building a map of the world of the network. So mmap actually helps you to scan the open source, the open port, the closed port, the data entering into a network, as I said earlier on, in real time. So now, once I was talking about you listen a security company to help you in protecting your file and services is very, very important. Now, it's good to actually have this type of systems in your network, so that when attack goes into your system, it will actually helps you to detect. Is in two ways, but this is what IDS. It is called an intrusion detection system, which means who actually intrude into your system, into your privacy. It will actually detect it for you. It's a system that monitors network traffic for suspicious activities and issue alerts when such activity is discovered. While anomaly detect and report it is the primary function of these devices. Some intrusion detection systems are capable of taking actions when malicious activities or anonymous traffic is detected, including blocking the traffic sent from suspicious IP address, which means it can go as far as clearing off every information that person is trying to get from you. You won't even allow the access. When you have IDS installed on your network, as a company, you are safe, because it's either he alert you or he gets rid of that if you see that is what he can actually undo. Now, this is how actually untrust. What's an untrust file or untrust package actually enters through the firewall was not strong enough and it breaks into the router. This is how it actually works. This is the firewall blocking this thing because it's not actually trusted. Now, at the end of the day, he was able to escape through and enter into the firewall. Boom. Now he enters into the router. In case you don't know the router, that's the access point. Now once he enters into the access point, boom. Okay. Now intrusion detection takes work at that point in time. It detects and prevents the server from accessing that file. Now the host base, the server, and everything will be protected with this detection system. It's either if you see that it's a very harmful object that can actually affect the server, you instantly block that IP address and make it, depending on the type that a company is actually using at that point in time. Now, this I told you about there are two: intrusion prevention system and the intrusion detection system. Encryption techniques are modifications made to attack in order to prevent detection by an intrusion detection system. Almost all published encryption techniques modify network attack in the world in 1998. Paper insertion, evasion, and denial of service, eluding networks, intrusion detection popularized IDS evasion. Now, all these things are just to control the types of or method of hacking, like social engineering, denial of service. This actually stops denial of service a lot. This is actually a way that a company can actually protect their website or getting ping of death from any attackers. Intrusion detectors has a way of stopping this kind of attack when a data is being sent, like payloads. What I mean by payload, like a data that contains a malware. Once it's detected, it will actually stop the malware from actually intercepting into that server to actually cause a harm. Now, it's also sends IP address, receive IP address, protocol packets, and all those things. But this is how it actually works. Once it actually detects, either it blocks the IP address or kick out the data towards for making their kind of attacks to take effect. Now, thank you for coming to this point. Now, I will actually try to identify the type of threats we actually have that this intrusion detection system can actually stop. And number one is okay, the type of attack that we actually have. I will actually speak about this threat cloud. Threat cloud actually helps you to determine the number of people that actually be what that actually been what being hacked in a day, in a year, yesterday, today, in a certain country. Threat cloud actually helps you to analyze those areas that attacks are at that point in time. I will show you how the software works. So what I actually want to help us to identify is the type of attacks that we actually have. We have a malware attack. A malware attack is a group of codes that is actually write into a .bat file or resume. It's actually converted like a file that is actually trusted but actually not actually trusted. So at the end of the day, once you actually click this to, there's a lot of malwares. A malware can be written into a rubber ducky, can be written in there's a called bad USB. There's a different kind of way you can actually write a malware. Once you actually write the malware, you can even actually write a file that it can be downloadable. Once the person downloads it into the system, it's actually what gives the system a lot of problems. So once they actually click on that file, it will actually look up all the information. I mean, the behavior of the computer would be so bad. Now the phishing attack is is email phishing attack, there's a system attack, there's a website cloning, site template. They will actually write this code, give it a command using the social engineering toolkit. Once they start writing this start giving this command, they send the link out, they host it. Once they host it, anyone that actually click it, or depending on the type of attack they want that phishing to actually do or to carry out. Let's speak for instance, we want to actually harvest the credentials. Once you actually harvest this credentials, you send the link. Once the login, every password and usernames that the person actually entered will be going into the database of that particular machine. So now password attack is another way. There's a kind of way that you can actually attack a password. You can actually if it's a Wi-Fi password, you use a wireless Google, or you use other softwares or other GitHub resources to actually do that. They can as far as go as cracking that password using those methods like brute force, another way like that, using a Bob suit to actually detect which password it could be from the last password that was actually been logged in, by using the resource element to actually detect those out, intercepting on it and brute forcing, intruding it and all that. So it actually takes process. Then there's one I call the DDoS attack. The DDoS attack is actually when the service is a particular network useless. It actually give it a ping of death and make it unavailable for the particular organization to use their services. There's a word they call the man in the middle attack. Man in the middle attack has a way working with this malware. Man in the middle attack, if you don't send a malware, there's no way you'll be able to listen to what is actually happening. Once they launch a malware, depending on the type of viruses or malware you actually launch, the aim of that virus or of that malware that you actually launch is to make this happen. Man in the middle attack. The man in the middle attack is a type of attack that makes the attacker listen to a particular machine. Once this is being launched and the victim actually clicks on that link, a man in the middle attack has actually been established. They started listening. So the type of malware that you actually use depends on the type of malware that you actually use or the virus you write, that this will actually take place, that this man in the middle attack will actually take place. So once the man in the middle attack have detected a zombie, it start listening for a zombie to actually come in. for a zombie to actually come in. Sorry about that. To actually listen. So once it detects a zombie, it listens to everything that zombie is doing. It captured everything. It started listening to it till everything is done. Then the what attacker will use a software called Explico, depending on the type of malware the person launch, to actually see everything that the person is actually doing. If it is a malware actually once you are in, the man attack is already established. So it now depends on what you actually want to do, or what you actually want to do at that particular point in time. That actually what makes that actually works. So that's what man in video attack is all about. Drive by download. Now it's also the same as this malware. Drive by download is a like metapreter software. Metapreter code. Maybe by using Metasploit. So once you actually write the .bat file, you actually can actually make it downloadable. Once you make it downloadable, then once the attacker, the victim actually clicks on it, it starts its own work. Malvertising attack is a type of attack that is actually long within the ads. So people will start clicking ads. They will not know that there is actually a malware that is inside that ads that they are clicking. Once they click it, it gives the person that actually launched the attack a notice, and the person actually have a way of accessing your file. That's another way of hacking. Now a rogue software is another way of wireless attack. And mostly these are made for wireless attack. There are other ways they actually Google as well. They can actually Google your system. So once, depending on how powerful that software is, they will Google your system, and you kick you out of your own service and start using your service. These are the types of attack that we have. We have many more attacks, many more like that you can actually use to make all these things actually happen. I've actually explained all this, but I will give more details in the next class. See you right there. Bye. See you on to the next. You do have a lovely